Iceland has always been one of those destinations I dreamed of capturing for myself. Its beautiful landscapes, mountains, and waterfalls almost feel like you're in another world. I recently traveled for my first time to Iceland and had the pleasure of bringing Sigma's new 70-200 F2.8 along with me. This lens was an absolute blessing to have on this trip for many reasons. When we landed and started driving, I quickly realized that Iceland is a very spread out and wide open landscape. You can be driving along the highway and the closest thing to you is a mountain, roughly 10 kilometers in the distance. We stopped many times along the way to take portraits with these beautiful landscapes in the background, and with Sigma's new 70-200, I was able to capture these amazing portraits and still get those distant mountains in the photo, utilizing this lens's awesome compression. I found myself using this lens a lot, especially in situations like this, where a mountain is 16 kilometers in the distance, but zooming into 200 millimeters and utilizing this lens's compression, I can get an amazing shot like this, or this. I like taking photos like this because they show scale, but also tell a better story within your photography. We also experienced some crazy weather in the days we were there. High-speed winds throwing sand at us, water coming off those waterfalls, and I never once worried about the weather sealing on the 70-200. And part of that has to do with its all-internal zoom. The all-new 70-200 doesn't have an external zoom barrel. Everything is internal. As someone who doesn't usually use telephoto lenses, I came to realize how versatile this lens really is. At 70mm, I can still take some amazing portraits without being so far away from my subject. And with the same lens, I can zoom into 200mm and get some amazing photos of those Iceland mountain peaks. And even though these mountain peaks were so far in the distance, after zooming in, you can see just how incredibly sharp this lens is as well. The 70-200 is part of Sigma's Sport line, which means it's incredibly sharp, its autofocusing is quick, it's reliable, and it has great optical stabilization. On our third day, we went to a place called Diamond Beach to capture these incredible icebergs and glaciers. In the water, we happened to spot seals diving down to feed off the fish. Using the 70-200 and its optical stabilization, I was able to comfortably zoom into 200mm handheld and capture this stunning shot of this seal. All I wanted to do was capture some wildlife on this trip, so I was happy I got that shot until my camera battery died out. Its built-in optical stabilization and extremely fast HLA autofocusing motors allowed me to capture every shot I had in mind on this trip. Looking back at my catalog of photos, I would say 60% of the photos from this trip were taken on this lens. 30% on my Sigma 24-70 f2.8, and the rest with the Sigma 16-28mm f2.8. And yes, we were able to capture this amazing shot of the Northern Lights dancing over Mount Vesterhorn. The 70-200 paired up with these other two lenses allowed me to cover a focal range from 16 all the way to 200mm, allowing me to capture just about everything. The 70-200 is an amazing versatile lens with stunning optical and build quality, optical stabilization up to 7.5 stops, fast autofocusing, and best of all, it's affordable. My name is Stefano Lombardo, a photographer based in Toronto, Canada, and this is a new Sigma 70-200mm sport lens.